A lot of confusion about delusion.
Like, I am a god.
I'm Batman.
If we do something that isn't right,
of the fate of these innocent people.
Picasso is dead. Everybody says, who does he think he is? I just told you who I thought I was. A god.
The delusion is a fixed false belief that doesn't change in light of conflicting evidence.
What did you... Oh, no.
Okay, so I think I'm delusional. Yeah, delusional. Okay, so I know I probably sound crazy, but hear me out. Growing up as a child, I was often admired by my parents and others so much that I was often sought out to be a little bride or a flower girl in people's weddings. And if you don't know, that's a big flex. I like to call myself the star of the show. I mean, I had a big personality, and a lot of times you could often find me dancing in the middle of the dance floor at parties, collecting dollar bills, y'all, from my aunties and uncles. So that would soon be collected by my parents because they said that they were holding it for me. Never got that money back. Yeah, let's just say I was lied to. I was always curious, outspoken, which should oftentimes lead me into trouble by my parents.
I'm sorry. We're going to get your ancestors, please.
But ultimately, I was pretty confident growing up. That is until middle school, though.
You can't think you're better than anybody?
Yeah. Those some rough years. So it was one thing not to have the latest and greatest Jordans and Nikes, but having African parents who preferred to shop at Payless and Shoppers World was you just practically begging to be roasted at school. And then to grow up thinking you were ugly is just wild. Like, kids used to call me Michael Jackson and talk about how light my legs were. I know I cannot be alone. So, bear with me while I present my case, okay? If I think that I'm the next media mogul, right? Or even the most beautiful girl in the world. That's a really beautiful girl. Who are you to tell me that I'm not? On what authority? On what grounds, right? So, the way I see it, if we are gonna practice the bad delusion, right? That's delusion. We might as well practice the good delusion because the bad delusion looks like anxiety, right? Or it looks like overthinking. And overthinking, right, is your mind going like that, just all over the place, crazy. It's all in your head, baby. We're essentially creating problems and scenarios that probably won't happen or don't even exist. That is what you call delusion. So that's why I feel like we should subscribe to the positive delusion by thinking the best thing about yourself. Again, the most beautiful girl in the world could be you. You could look like her. That's all I'm saying. She's beautiful. She's gorgeous. Yeah. So what we need to do is unsubscribe from the bad delusion, right? And subscribe to the good delusion, right? Because once again, it's all in your head. It's about how you think about yourself. And again, who makes the rule? But I didn't always think like this. Life forced me to subscribe to this mentality because of everything I've been through.
My early 20s was like a really, really confusing time. Like, I had no idea who I was. Like, when I think about it now, I think that I was just doing a lot of things to be liked and to keep the peace, but it wasn't really me, you know? Like, I just went through so much then, and I just realized now that I was accommodating so many people before I thought about me and what I wanted. I was doing things that I just, that didn't make me feel comfortable, that gave me anxiety all the time. I was hanging out with people that I realized weren't really my friends and that I didn't really enjoy their time. And the thing is, I didn't realize that I didn't enjoy their time, right? Because I think I'm someone that's like, I'm cool with hanging out with people, and I generally like people. I like hanging out, I like networking, I just like, but I would realize that I would get anxiety sometimes after I'd hang out with these people. And I just couldn't put my finger on it. And that lasted for like a few years. From like having a terrible breakup, that broke me. Like I I was doing a lot of things. Oh, I don't even want to talk about it, but I was doing so much to like restore that and to not be embarrassed, and like that was just the whole period. And then I also graduated in my early 20s, right, from college, and I did a lot of internships in college and all that stuff, and I felt like I was on the right track. And then after college, I wasn't getting the opportunities that I knew I deserved and that I was like working really hard for. I was getting rejected and like not getting callbacks, or like getting interviews but not getting callbacks. Like it was a whole thing. And then you put that with living at your parents' house and having Nigerian parents. We know how it goes when you want to do something that is out of the ordinary, and then being dead broke. Yeah. So yeah, I realize now, like, you think you know who you are, and I don't even know if I know who I am now, but I know who I'm not. And I know early 20s, that was not me. I definitely think I have more of a understanding of who I am now, but like my early 20s was like really, I guess we can call it transformational years. But one thing I do know is that you really do have to do the work to like find out who you are and like who you want to be. Pay attention to like things that you don't like or that makes you feel weird, because then it'll help you in the long run. So yeah. Okay, I'm done.
If you can communicate this product, you can make money off the product. Because look at Gaga. She's the creative director of Polaroid. I like some of the Gaga songs. What the fuck does she know about cameras?
No.
So maybe life itself is just one big delusion, and maybe picking and choosing what parts of the delusion you want to practice is what's best. Now, I think time is a man-made construct. If you think about it, all these things were created to keep people in line and well-behaved. Think about it. Who really made up all these rules, and what was their reason? To control us. That's a story for another day, though. You know, and a lot of times we comfort ourselves by saying, oh, I don't think I'm that great, or I think I'm kind of talented. We kind of downplay our abilities and our talents just to make each other feel comfortable. But why is it that when that one person stands up for themselves and is able to stand their ground and say, I think I'm the most talented genius in the world, why do we judge those people? Why are we so quick to label them as delusional or crazy just because they believe in themselves? Is it because we're secretly jealous of them? Or intimidated? I feel like I'm talking to some people that's watching this video. Can you relate to that? Is it because we've been conditioned to thinking that playing humble and downplaying who we really are is what's best for us? Think about it. Who are you really? Who are you meant to be?
There's always this quote that really resonates with me. And I'll just start to read like the beginning of it. Our deepest fear is not that we are inadequate, but our deepest fear is that we are powerful beyond measure. It is our light, not our darkness, that most frightens us. We ask ourselves, who am I to be brilliant, gorgeous, talented, fabulous? Actually, who are you not to be? You're a child of God. Basically, you guys, I know that this word delusional has a sort of like a negative connotation, and like people are kind of like, why would you want to be delusional and all these things? But I realize that a lot of the thoughts that we think about, that we're scared to think, we often may think that it sounds delusional to say, or that if anyone else heard it, how we felt about ourselves or what we thought, they would be thinking it's delusional too. So I just say all this to say that like, it's a lot of times it's those thoughts that you think about yourself, that you're scared to think, that you actually may be right about. Like those thoughts that make you feel nervous or anxious, or that you're scared to say out loud because people might judge you, those are the thoughts that are actually probably true. Now, I know a lot of people think that Kanye West is like a lot of things. The one thing he is to me that is a genius, and he knew it the whole time. He knew it from the very beginning. A lot of people thought he was delusional. A lot of people still think he is, but in my opinion, he's a genius, and he was because he thought he was. So even if you don't have those feelings right now, like about yourself, like even if you don't think that they're true, start to believe it. Start to be delusional, because eventually one day you may actually believe it. Hopefully these are good things though, guys. Come on, like, yeah. So that's all I gotta say on that. I'm delusional and I'm happy. I love it. I'm practicing it though. I'm not like a pro. Like I'm not like a delusional pro, but like we're working on it. So yeah. Bye.
2 days ago, I was scrolling on TikTok. Just let me finish. And there was this girl, and she was like, you guys should be delusional. She was telling everybody that they should be delusional. And that didn't make sense to me. And then I thought about it, and I wouldn't be where I am right now in my life and career if I weren't delusional. Believing that I could drop out of school and become international success within a year is delusional. Believing that I could come out of the closet in the height of my career and... Y'all gotta let me finish. I gotta finish, please. To think that I could do that would be delusional. To think that I can make a song about a man lusting after another man in a world where it's still legal in many places to be prosecuted and actually killed for being who you are, being gay. It's delusional to think that that song could be the #1 song in the world. And I just want to say, in general, it's okay to be delusional when you're chasing your dreams, when you have a vision in mind. You can be delusional. Thank you to my team. Thank you to Columbia Records. Thank you to iHeartRadio. Thank you to my fans. I love you guys.